All right, hello again everyone. Today we're going to go over how to mark your hemline. Now, for the Pillowface project, we will not be sewing this top section shut. That will be done at the end. It's a little hard to stuff a pillow if everything is closed up and you can't turn it inside out, just a thought. So what we are going to do is we are going to do this for 3/4 of an inch. Now, I am going to insult someone's intelligence here, and I hope you all forgive me for this. But I've seen it way too many times in my classroom. 3/4 of an inch does not mean 3 inches and 1/4. All right? Remember your fractions, please. 3/4 of an inch is less than 1 whole, which means it is less than 1 inch, meaning we are going to go to this. Now, this, in case you're unfamiliar with rulers or you haven't had to use one in a while, each mark represents 1/8 of an inch added on up to 1 inch. So if you go to every other one, 1/4, 2/4 or half, 3/4, right there. And you're just going to take this and you're going to line it up. Now, you'll take your chalk. I have a nice little piece here. And you're just going to make some dashed lines going down the side. And I know you're not going to see it easily on the camera. I do apologize for that. I prefer not to use colored chalk because sometimes it does stain the project a little bit, and I really don't like that. But I promise you, you should be able to see it. If you can't see it, pencil is also acceptable. What is never acceptable is pen or marker. It will bleed on the fabric. It will ruin your final project, especially if you're not careful. So we're not going there. Now that I finished marking this side, I'm going to close that up. Turn this. I'm going to take out the pin that's here, put it back in. Notice every single time, what am I doing? I'm putting my pin back in. Now, this edge you notice is not even. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the edge that is shorter and find 3/4 of an inch here, and you're going to go across from there. All right? And where you're going to do your pivots, see where these 2 lines here cross? Hopefully you can see it nicely. That's where you're going to stop and do your pivot. If you go a little below, it's okay. Just make sure your line is straight. That's the important thing. Make sure your lines are straight when you're doing this. Now, I'm doing a bit longer lines than I normally do because I'm trying to make sure this comes out clear so I can see it. And let's get another pin. I'm now going to make sure, by the way, on the long sides, general rule of thumb, I like about 2.5 inches per pin before I put another pin. Otherwise, you're stopping a lot to take them out. There we go. And here's the other thing I want you to notice. Where are the points pointing? To the middle. When you're sewing, you're going to be sewing like this. You do not want those pins to be pricking your finger while you're trying to sew, okay? Now again, line it up best you can. Marking your pivot point. Continue the rest of the way down. Now, what I am going to do down here is I am going to mark my stop points, my end points. Again, I may have to take out this pin for a moment to do that, because I want to make sure I know exactly where I'm stopping and starting. So I'm going to put a little pivot-like point there, extra thick. That way I know exactly where to stop and start. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to finish pinning this up, and the next time you see this, we will actually be touching the sewing machine and doing something that resembles sewing. All right, everybody, happy sewing!